I hate fan theories. I really do. I just find them to be baseless speculations that people believe for some reason. Even the more believable fan theories can be easily debunked. Speaking of debunked, today I'll count down the stupidest fan theories I could find on the internet, and explain why they're the stupidest fan theories by debunking them. With that said, let's begin. Number 5. Found footage horror movies are real. With the rise in popularity of found footage horror movies, it's kinda no surprise that some people think they're real. However, if you were to Google one of these found footage horror movies, you would find things like the cast members, the director, the producers, the writer, and the film distributor of a supposedly real movie. But at the beginning of those movies, they say it's all police footage. All I have to say to that is, let me play a segment from a YouTube video entitled Why Are All Found Footage Horror Movies Terrible? By YouTuber TrilbeeReviews.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't really say bad things about it because the movie is totally based on a true story. It's found footage. They really found the footage, and these are real events. And the footage I'm watching, it belongs to the police department. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because if there was a paranormal murder and police had access to the footage, they would totally edit it and release it to film festivals or put it in movie theaters and charge audience members $10 a pop to go see it. Do people think that when they make these found footage movies that they try and pretend it's real? Do they think that the audience members are stupid?
The reason this is at the bottom of the list is because I can see why some stupid people might think these movies are real. But trust me when I say it's about to get stupider. Number 4. Toy Story 3 is symbolic for the Holocaust. I have a feeling this one may offend some people. This theory states that the characters in this movie represent countries and groups of people related to the World War II Holocaust. So I'll talk about each at a time so I can debunk them easier. Apparently, Andy's toys are supposed to represent the Jews because Woody has a star on his vest. Thing is, Woody's star is not new. He had it the whole trilogy. Also, you theorists seem to forget that the Jews were not the only ones killed in the Holocaust. There are also blacks, homosexuals, and mentally retarded people. And I'm not seeing any symbolism from any of Andy's toys that might show they represent those groups of people. The next character I want to talk about is Andy, who supposedly represents the countries that gave up the Jews, which just proves you theorists don't pay attention to the movies you watch at all, because if you did, you would know that Andy wanted to store his toys in the attic, but his mom mistaked the trash bag they were in for actual trash and put it on the curb. And do not turn around and say that he actually represents the people who helped to hide the Jews, because that just shows me that you're unwilling to admit you were wrong. And finally, Lotso represents Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding, he represents Hitler. I'll admit this part of the theory is more logical, but still debunkable. When Lotso meets Andy's toys, he's nice to them. I know he's manipulating them, but let me ask, why is the character who supposedly represents Hitler manipulating the characters that supposedly represent the Jews, despite the fact that never happened? Wouldn't it make more sense if Lotso manipulated the toys already at the daycare? You know, like how Hitler manipulated the German people? Also, Hitler committed suicide at the end of World War II. Here, Lotso lives. If you still believe this theory, let me ask, do you actually think that Pixar, the family-friendly movie studio, would put this morbid symbolism in a kid's movie? They didn't think that someone would be offended by this, or it would start a controversy of some kind? Pixar is smart, and I think they would know to avoid Holocaust symbolism in a kid's movie so they don't tick someone off. Number 3. The Recess and Ed, Edd and Eddy theories. I put these two in one category because of how similar they are. Supposedly, the characters in these TV shows are actually dead, and are haunting the main settings of the shows. What makes these theories stupid? Well, first off, the Recess theory in particular is 100% made up. I'm not joking. There's no proof of any kind in Recess to support the theory. Also, the theory that the characters haunt the playground doesn't make any sense, because we clearly see these characters leave the school grounds and go home to their families, who we see sometimes.
Well maybe the recess theory isn't correct, but the any theory definitely is.
Yeah, how do you know that?
I know, because all the characters act differently, which automatically means they're all from different decades of time. Also, those three weird girls possess impossible abilities, which automatically means they're all demons sent to punish the kids.
So, the characters all act differently. That's not because the writers give them different personalities so they can be told apart. It's because they're ghosts from different decades. Also, the whole impossible abilities things is just so stupid. Because almost every character in this show does something impossible at one point or another. It's a cartoon. There's gonna be some impossible things here and there. You're probably wondering why this isn't higher on the list, seeing how one of the theories in this spot has absolutely nothing to back it up. And while these theories are stupid, the next two are worse. Number 2. Doc Brown is suicidal. How do we know Doc Brown is suicidal? Because he tries to run himself over. Okay, let's actually think about this. Dr. Emmett Brown studied the complex time travel theories, worked the complex equations, built real working machinery and attached it to a real working car, stole a radioactive element just to run himself over? Why does his suicide attempt have to be so complicated? If that's so, then why does Dr. Emmett Brown drive a car at himself, Oh my god. It's almost as if he was trying to demonstrate the time machine to Marty. It's almost as if he was testing his invention. I just realized. Fan theories are retarded. Number 1. Miss Frizzle is a Time Lord. You heard that right. Miss Frizzle is a Time Lord. Why? Just why? For those of you who don't know, a Time Lord is a fictional alien species from the science fiction TV show Doctor Who. And for some reason, some people actually believe that Miss Frizzle is an early incarnation of the Doctor Who character River Song, and her school bus is a TARDIS that she used to escape the Time War. Let me just point out what should be an obvious fact. River Song's character first appeared in a 2008 episode of Doctor Who, and the Magic School Bus aired on television in the 1990s. How can Miss Frizzle be a carnation of a character that doesn't exist yet? And the Magic School Bus can't be a TARDIS. It's not bigger on the inside. But it traveled through time and space. Yeah, so did the Planet Express ship from Futurama, and I don't hear people calling that a TARDIS. But the one thing that could tear this whole theory apart is that River Song never had a TARDIS in Doctor Who. Even if she did, there's no way she could have been able to enter the Time War because it's blocked, and she was born outside of the Time War. This is without a doubt the stupidest fan theory I have ever heard. And if at the end of all this you somehow believe any of the theories on this list, then fine. It's your opinion, and feel free to debate my points if you'd like, but be civil. If you attack or harass me for thinking differently from you, then I will ignore you. Anyways, that's all from me for today, so come by next time. Can't wait to see you there. Until then, EB out. When Lotso meets Andy's toys, he's nice to them. I knows he's I knows. Like the thing you smell with, I knows. Oh god.